Hey, and welcome to Living in Lansing, Michigan, where we talk about the good, the bad, and everything in between regarding life here in Lansing and greater mid-Michigan. Before I forget, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and down below, turn on that little notifications bell so you can stay up to date on all the information we share about life and living here in the greater mid-Michigan area. So today, let's jump in and let's talk about one of our sleepy bedroom communities with all the charm and character you could wish for, Williamston, Michigan. Located about 20 to 30 minutes from downtown Lansing, Williamston is a charming community with a historic downtown, the Red Cedar River running right through the middle of town, really highly ranked schools, and lots of great stuff. So let's jump in today. Let's talk about the pros of living in Williamston, and then let's also talk about some of the drawbacks. What are the cons of potentially living in Williamston? Before I get going, don't forget, stick around till the end of the video, and I'm going to tell you what I think is the biggest value about living in Williamston, Michigan. Alright, so maybe you're considering a move to Williamston, Michigan, and you want to know what good about Williamston. Well, the schools. The schools are highly ranked, not my opinion, but go to greatschools.org, niche.com, or check out michiganschooldata.org to get all the facts. That's data driven on the school district. What I can tell you though is Williamston schools routinely rank in the top 10 for the whole greater mid-Michigan area. They also rank really well across the state of Michigan, and what you're going to find that some school districts may not offer is a little bit smaller class sizes. Why is that important? Student to teacher ratio has been shown to be critical in the success of students in a particular classroom or school setting. So you may find that as a really big draw if you're considering a move to Williamston and the schools are important to you. Some of the other things to know about Williamston schools. Williamston schools are known not just for their academic excellence, but also their extracurriculars. They've recently won a girls' state title in soccer. They're well known for their football and basketball programs and also other extracurricular activities. Actually, recently, a member of the Williamston area started a trap and skeet shooting team, and that has really blown up in the area and is getting a lot of attention. So Williamston, known for great schools, also known for extracurriculars that are around the school day activities. So if you're looking to move to a place and schools are really important, Williamston may be near the top of your list. Okay, so you're considering that move to Williamston. Maybe the schools matter, maybe they don't. Maybe you don't care at all about the school districts and them being highly ranked. That's going to benefit you anyways. But maybe what matters the most is this is a historic town and it has all the charm of a small town in Michigan. What do I mean? Well, downtown sits at the crossroads of M43, also known as Grand River Avenue, and Putnam Street. Putnam Street becomes Williamston Road as you head south out of town. And you have that downtown feel. What does downtown have to offer in Williamston? Well, if you head just a short walk north on Putnam Street from the crossroads, you're going to find a gorgeous park that sits on the banks of the Red Cedar River. We'll circle back and talk about the Red Cedar River when we talk about one of the other pros in a minute. However, downtown offers awesome restaurant selection for a small town. And one of the cool things about downtown Williamston is you have the Sun Theater. The Sun Theater is a historic theater. It's small, but it offers movies, modern, and then replays of old classics. And you get that small town movie theater charm and feel. Downtown Williamston is also highly walkable. You've got options to go places on foot, like you can head just down the street and grab an ice cream cone during the warm months, or head the other way. You'll find grocery store, gas station, the local McDonald's, the local restaurants like Tavern 409, or you can just walk along the river and enjoy some peace and quiet. So downtown, historic, it has all the charm, all the feels, and it's easy to get around and you can safely walk there. The speed limit right downtown is just 25 miles an hour. So if you're looking for a town that has historic charm and feel and walkability and those things that make it feel like an old historic town, the Sun Theater or some old restaurants, Williamston's going to offer all that stuff. Okay, so you're interested in Williamston. We've talked about the schools and how highly ranked they are. We've talked about the cute downtown that has all the charm and the walkability. One of the great things that I personally like about Williamston is it's easy to get to, and it's easy to get from Williamston to other places in the mid-Michigan area, and really to travel from Williamston anywhere in the state. Williamston's downtown is about a 2-minute drive from the I-96 interstate. So you head east to Detroit on I-96, or you head west on I-96, and you'll find yourself in downtown Lansing or near Michigan State University in 25 minutes tops. You can also take Grand River Avenue M43 all the way into town as you head west out of Williamston on M43. First, you're going to come to Okemos, then you'll be passing through Meridian Township into East Lansing, and then you'll find yourself at campus of Michigan State University. Traveling around town itself is quite easy as well. The town is not very large. You can probably get anywhere in Williamston from anywhere else in town in probably 5 to 8 minutes maximum. But a good portion of Williamston is actually the school district that spreads out in the rural area around town. And that's pretty easy to traverse too. So Williamston has a close proximity to Lansing. Heading east, you'll find Weberville and Howell within 15 to 20 minutes, Brighton within 25 minutes, and then you can be at Metro Detroit in less than an hour. You can find yourself at the Detroit airport in about an hour from Williamston. So all in all, a very easy community to travel around, to, and from when you want to get to different places in mid-Michigan or around the state of Michigan. All right, number 4 on our list of pros for living in Williamston. We talked about it, mentioned it already. The Red Cedar River runs almost right through the middle of downtown. Just north of our crossroads of M43 and Putnam Street is the McCormick Park. McCormick Park is a gem in Williamston. It has a huge playground and equipment for kids, but it also has a monument to soldiers right there in the park, and lots of areas to spread out on the grass lawns or have a picnic. And you're a 5-minute walk from almost everything that downtown has. So you can be right in downtown Williamston in a great park, and that park also fronts the Red Cedar River. The Red Cedar River runs from east of Williamston all the way through Williamston, through Meridian Township, through East Lansing, and eventually has a confluence with the Grand River in the city of Lansing. The Red Cedar River is popular for fishing, canoeing, and kayaking. It's a slow, meandering river that has easy access places all along it. So if you want to get in or get out, you can do those kayak or other trips on the Red Cedar River. And Williamston is also located within 30 minutes of numerous state parks with trail systems and lots of outdoor activities like the little ski hill just east on Howell, or just north, about 25 minutes north to Sleepy Hollow State Park, where you'll find a good-sized lake for your fishing and boating activity. So if you like spending time outdoors, which is one of the big draws to Michigan, you may find Williamston as a good location to base out of as your home so that you can access all the beauty of outdoors right in your own community, and then also a short travel elsewhere. All right, we've talked about all the good that Williamston has to offer, the things that we think may appeal to you if you're considering a move to Williamston. Let's talk about some of the potential drawbacks though. On our con list, number 1, there may be limited job opportunities directly in town in Williamston. Williamston is a smaller community. There's not a lot of industry of any real size based directly in Williamston, so you may find that you may have to travel outside of Williamston for a job. Is that a big deal to some people? Yes. To many, it may not. Obviously, many people in our country work remotely now, and you're going to find that you can get to Lansing to the west relatively quickly. You can get to Howell and Brighton to the east relatively quickly. So there are large employers, but many of them are not located directly in Williamston. In town, you're going to find some employers that employ up to 50 people. That's pretty much going to be the size that you're going to be capped at for a small town. And there's not any huge farms in the vicinity. So like St. John's, for example, north of Lansing, a similar size community, and yet it has a very large dairy plant. You're not going to find anything like that in Williamston. So that may be a con for some people, finding a local job that works for them. However, there is easy access to get to the big communities nearby where there are large employers. Okay, so we're thinking about that move to Williamston. What's a potential other drawback to living in Williamston that you haven't considered? I think the cost of housing here may be a drawback for many people. Mid-Michigan in general is quite an affordable place to live. Michigan in general, the upper Midwest, is one of the relatively affordable places left in the United States to find housing. The cost of housing in Williamston, though, is on the high end, especially when compared with other communities in mid-Michigan. In fact, some years, the average or median sales price of houses in the Williamston School District is number 1 for the mid-Michigan area. Right now, over the past 12 months from the shooting of this video, we saw the average sales price for homes in the Williamston School District eclipse $420,000. Now, keep in mind, Williamston has affordable homes in town starting in the low 100s on average, and then we have homes that are selling for over $1 million. Many of those over $1 million properties, though, are properties that are listed with serious acreage on the outskirts of town, not in town proper. However, there are luxury properties both in town and surrounding town on land. So when we look at that average price, we're taking into account all of those homes, but our median price is very similar. similar. So we see a good chunk of homes in town being sold in the 200,000 and 300,000, and then see a lot of homes being sold between 400,000 and 800,000 as we start spreading outside into the larger neighborhoods or homes that are on acreage outside of town. So a big drawback for many people could be the affordability of housing in Williamston. Make sure you consult a professional. Hey, that's us, with your questions about housing in Williamston. And oh, don't forget, property taxes in the city of Williamston can be quite high in comparison to some of the other areas in mid-Michigan. However, when you get outside of city limits, you may still find yourself in Williamston schools, but with lower taxes in the surrounding townships. So con number 2, high cost of housing. All right, con number 3, what's another drawback of living in Williamston? You're gonna see this if you move there or you just visit. There are limited shopping options within Williamston. Contrary to the small town that actually has a really great restaurant scene, Williamston does not have a lot of shopping in town. There's one large-ish grocery store. There's a smattering of convenience stores, and there is a lumber yard in town. You're not going to find any of the big box chains in a small town like Williamston. Now, if you're considering moving to Williamston, you're probably after that small town charm, and this may actually be a pro for you. But for some, you want to shop at Myers or a Walmart or a big box store, you're going to have to take the trip into Lansing or head east to Powell and Brighton to find some of your larger shopping options. There are, however, a bunch of mom and pop shops in Williamston. Again, if you're looking for the charm of small town, you may find this more appealing anyways. However, for your day-to-day shopping and your big refills, Costco, Myers, Sam's Club, all those things are going to be 20 to 30 minutes away. So con number 3, there's not a lot of shopping options in town, especially not big retailers. All right, the last thing you got to know about Williamston, if you're moving from outside the area, you probably already know, just like everywhere else in mid-Michigan, Williamston's going to have relatively harsh winters. Williamston is right in the middle of the state, and that protects us a little bit from the heavy snow that we see on west side of Michigan, Muskegon, Grand Rapids, because most of the snowstorms in the winter have lost a lot of their energy and power with the lake effect snow before they reach mid-Michigan. However, we still get some really cold temperatures late December through kind of late February. So prepare yourself. If you're moving to mid-Michigan, it's going to be cold, and that's going to be a con pretty much anywhere you may live here in the mid-Michigan area. Williamston is no exception. The weather here is the same as Okemos, Lansing, East Lansing. Okay, well, that's what we've got to tell you about Williamston. So let's wrap it up really quick. Williamston is what I consider a sleepy community. It's got all the charm you want in a walkable downtown. It's got great outdoor activities. It's got really excellent restaurant scene for a small town as well. You can get in and out of Williamston easily. You can get around town easily. And there are a few drawbacks in that there's not a lot of good shopping options in town, especially big box stores. And you may not be the person who even wants to move to Michigan because of the weather, but if you're considering Williamston, you've probably checked in and decided that weather's going to be okay. And remember this, Williamston offers a lot of options that are not right in downtown. We're still in that Williamston school district, but we've got these rural options to live just outside of downtown on 2 acres, 5 acres, 10 acres. We've got waterfront living options in the Williamston School District as well. Now, I said stick around to the end. I wanted to tell you what I think is maybe the coolest thing about Williamston. So you can be in Williamston or Williamstown Township, where we have Williamston schools, but there's also places technically in Williamston where you pick up Okemos schools and Perry schools and some of the other surrounding school districts. When you get into the townships outside of the city of Williamston, you may find yourself still in Williamston Township, but with another school district that you prefer more. And remember, here in mid-Michigan, our property taxes vary wildly based upon what is the taxing authority, so the city or a township in this case, but also which school district is there. So you may find yourself a very affordable rural living option in Okemos schools with a Williamston address. You also may find that you're in Williamston schools, but in another township that has even lower taxes. I think that's a really big advantage to the Williamston area in general. That coupled with the ease with which you can travel to and from Williamston, it makes it high on the list of places that I'd recommend for anybody that wants a historic downtown to live in. They want that charm. They don't want to be right in the mix of the city in Lansing and East Lansing. So thanks for watching. I hope the video is super informative as always. If you have questions, reach out. Our contact information is down there below. We'd love to talk to you about Williamston or any other place you'd be considering moving here in the mid-Michigan area. Remember, turn on notifications, like our videos, subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on all the information we share about life here in Lansing and the greater mid-Michigan area.